Hey everyone, it's Christine. Welcome to my channel and welcome to this video about the new moon in Leo, and more specifically 5 things to know about this upcoming new moon in Leo. Let's dive right in. I'm doing timestamps, so if I look down. I also have a bunch of my notes here, so quite a bit came up during my meditation session and contemplating. We'll get into the stats quickly and then we'll dive into the 5 things. So this new moon in Leo is happening this Thursday, July 27th at 1:55 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. So New York City time for reference. It's happening at 5 degrees and 39 minutes of Leo. Also 5 degrees of Jupiter. And this is important to mention, although the effects are a little bit more subtle than another that I'm going to mention, because Jupiter helps expand things. It's about growth, abundance. So it does form a positive aspect here. We also have Mercury squaring Uranus at 0 degrees and 15 minutes with this lunation. So this could bring a point of tension, I'll say, potential conflict, because with Uranus, it's about sudden changes, unexpected changes, the doing away of older structures and bringing something new in terms of rebellion, I should say. So doing things differently than what was happening before. At the same time with Mercury, this could incite a lot of excitement, passion, but also anxiety and miscommunications because of this relationship. So this new moon is really about taking charge of your life, taking back your power, taking ownership for your shit, releasing any bullshit from any person, place, thing, anything that has held you back, even if it's hard, because I know when we have to release something or someone or people, it can be difficult to let go, but this is really the marking point in this particular cycle where it's time to embrace who you are at this moment and to do and to create a life that is very much centered around your heart and what you want to do. And some people, I'm getting strongly people, which is why I'm saying this, but some people, spaces around you, things, they're going to have to stay behind if you really want to move forward in the way that you want. Otherwise, there will be stagnancy. Also, this new moon is about turning on your light. I got a dimmer inside. You know those dimmer lights? I feel like some of us, we're going to be at all ends of the spectrum here, but there's a need here to turn your dimmer on now. Step into that light. Think of it like a spotlight, and I'm speaking metaphorically, and go. Really be the real you. Stop hiding who you are. And again, it's easier said than done. This may be something that could cultivate or start a practice of really getting in touch with who you are and being comfortable expressing who you really are to the world. Leo, quick reminder, Leo is a fixed house sign, a fixed sign in and ruling the 5th house. And so fixed signs tend to be a little bit more stubborn or a little bit more resistant to change, but they are able to engage in projects and goals and anything they have their sights on over the long term with a lot of focus. So this particular new moon is going to make anything relating to the 5th house energy that Leo rules over, or anything else that you have your sights over, especially beneficial, because it'll give us that sustained energy. Leo does rule the sun, so the sun is in its home, in its native position, in its domicile, so it's comfortable and it's even more amplified. Okay, so the new moon, as we all know, it's about starting something new, hence the new part in the new moon. But I also wanted to say you could also elevate or upgrade any pre-existing projects, goals that you have. Maybe you want to tweak them and level them up, in other words, and that's okay. Like I mentioned earlier, this lunation period is really going to be a wonderful time to tap into the energy surrounding this period, this event, and utilize any of the energies in 5th house. So these could be making goals or creating projects along the lines of your relationship with your children or anything about children, very broadly, right? It could be having children, expanding the family, teaching children, whatever that is. Love, romance, and dating. For any of you that are wanting to jump back in or even level up your relationships, go deeper, really find, I'll just say, your person or people if you're into non-monogamous relationships, polyamory. This is also about creativity and self-expression. And this is the huge part, because when we're creative and we express ourselves, it comes from us and who we are innately. That is, if we do it from our most aligned self, our most authentic self, and we're not putting a mask on. This is also a wonderful time to set goals or start projects around play or our inner child. Leo energy is really about tapping into and connecting to this inner child, our inner, I'll just like to say our inner playful parts, and also learning to balance work and play. Also, this is a great time for those of you that are entrepreneurial or that are thinking of starting new ventures, new side hustles, passion projects, or businesses, to start these, because Leo does rule over entrepreneurship and self-employed people. Finally, because Leo is the energy, the embodiment, right? We think of like the lion being out in the center of the world, really connecting to others from a heart space. We receive that warmth from the sun, the energy, the love, but also the admiration and the pride that we have in ourselves. So another potential goal or project to focus on or start this new moon is one centered around your self-confidence, self-love. I'm going to even say self-worth, even though we don't have maybe Taurus energy, but that's something that can very much connected, and you can cultivate this energy and really start learning how to appreciate yourself, how to honor who you really are and not dim that light. We also have supporting energies. This is a full week, you all, with the Uranus North Node Mars conjunction happening on July 31st, August 1st for some, and then the Lionsgate portal happening on August 8th. So there's a lot of energies that are going to be shifting and moving, a lot of unexpected, I'm hearing, communications, people entering and exiting your life, a lot of just quick things happening pretty quickly, and you may not expect it. In short, this is a chance for you to create your own life from a place of really connecting to yourself and knowing who you are. And if you're still in that journey, that's okay. It doesn't mean that this is the end and you're screwed. No. This simply means getting more in touch with what you want to do, what interests you, and following that guidance. And it's really important because Leo's the embodiment of really taking charge and moving forward in a pretty decisive, assertive, fiery type of manner, because Leo is a fire sign. But it also taps into making sure we do so that with the action and with the energy that really relates to who we are as we want to be known, not who we want others to see. I hope I said that right. So we're gonna dive straight in right now to 5 things to know about this new moon. So initially I anticipated only looking at 3 things. I told my guides when I was meditating, I'm like, 3 things, that's it. And I started getting a bunch of messages. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna focus on no more than 5. So we're gonna start with the first, which is vulnerability. And again, a lot of people, when you think of Leo, you think of courage. But I'm just going to say, you'd be surprised, no matter what your sign, and even Leo, how many people hold themselves back. And right now I got the message that the masks and the protective gear, in other words, the protective shells, the bubbles that we have wrapped ourselves up in, and who we thought we were, or who we thought we were, they're breaking down. So some of you may have been experiencing like a dissolution, an ending, a death perhaps of self, of who you were at a certain time in your life, especially I would say within the last 3 to 6 months. But again, time is very, I'm using that as a marker, as a comparison, but it's not important here. There has been a sense of almost, I get like soul erosion, identity erosion, and really coming into tune with who you really are as you start uncovering a lot of truths about your life. I'll leave that generally. And with that, because vulnerability is a huge word, it's really about taking that step out of an area or a zone of what you've always known, right? Most people say take a step out of your comfort zone or expand that comfort zone. But that also speaks to, vulnerability speaks to expressing yourself in a way that is true, that is honest, most importantly, that is authentic, that is aligned to who you are, and expressing your needs, your wants. And it could be scary because for those that may not be emotionally intimate with themselves and with others, that is honest and open, it could be scary feeling things you've never felt before. And this Leo energy and this new moon is really asking you to be in touch with those feelings. In the weekly energy reading that I wrote, that was a highlight that came up. Feelings, getting in touch with your feelings and asking yourself, hopefully at least once a day, like, how am I feeling right now? What do I need most? Journaling is an amazing way to connect to this energy, to connect to yourself, to really tap into, okay, I need to do this. Maybe you want to get out there more and present your work, for example, but you're kind of scared of speaking, you're kind of scared of being seen. Ask yourself why. Just keep asking why. You will get down to a bottom root, to a root cause, I should say. And this is going to allow you to work through these things. But ultimately, and I don't want to go too much off tangent here, but ultimately the vulnerability is going to be key to really espousing this energy, embodying it yourself, and taking it on as you start something new or reinvigorate a new project or a goal moving forward in this new cycle of your life. Because Leo energy is not exactly passive, it's not shy. Sometimes you have to do things, say things, even if you're scared, and usually we still do them when we're scared. Okay, second. Oh, 11/22. That may mean something to someone. I got Leap. That's also a Disney movie. You may want to watch that. I think it's a ballerina who moves. It's about a ballerina who grew up in an orphanage. She ran away with her friend, and I hope I'm getting this right, and she moves in with a former, I think, prima ballerina or principal dancer, and she trains. Her dream is to be a ballerina, and so she trains with her and learns. And it's about literally taking a leap of faith and courage. You may want to watch that. It's a very beautiful, motivating movie. It's a cartoon though. And so the second message I got was leap. And I saw courage there, because I saw a lion walking, not leaping, and I'm like, of course they have to show a lion to me. There are some things that I'm feeling from the collective that you want to do, that you've had your heart set on, and this is going to be, I'm getting so many different things: starting a new business, moving, changing jobs, leaving a relationship. It's interesting because when we know we don't want something anymore, but we want, and we know what we do want, it's hard for us to let go of the things we don't want, and we wonder why. And it could be because of, it's comfortable, it's something you've known, it's safe. You're being asked to take a leap, and again, it doesn't have to be big. It could be like choosing a different flavor of gum if you're like, I need a shake up in my routine, or driving a different pathway home, taking a more scenic route instead of an urban or city route. So really think about how you can leap in this stage forward in your life, because this is going to accelerate you. Because I always use this metaphor, this example. Here in the United States, when you have a retirement plan with most companies, like a 401k, if you contribute a certain amount, they will contribute sometimes the same or a certain amount. We'll just say they'll contribute the same for brevity and for ease of this example here. So think of it that way. When you make a leap and you take some type of action, usually inspired action tied into your intuition, you just feel it and you're like, okay, I got to do this. The universe will match you. And so they'll be like, this person took a leap here. Maybe they left a bad work situation. Well, we're going to put the right jobs and we're going to drop them in. And so it really works in that type of symbiotic, positive, energetic way. And it's amazing what can happen when you do take that leap. And a lot of times after we take them, in retrospect, we're like, that wasn't really so bad. So I encourage you to really think about what area or areas of your life you need to take a leap in. You're like, this is it. This is the final moment. And with the upcoming energies we have, like I've mentioned, I'll just say, especially with the Lionsgate portal, because with the Uranus conjunction, that's out of our control. I'll just say we can only control our response to it and things that change, but there's things that we can manifest and bring into our reality. So really think about where in your life you can take that leap. Third, get out of your own fucking way. I had no other way to say this, and I'm like, Okay, fine, I'll say it this way. Stop holding yourself back. And this has to do a lot with fears, many fears, and you're going to know them. They're going to be very specific to you. Fear of being seen, fear of failure, fear of success, fear of not feeling good enough. The list goes on. Identify what it is that is getting in your own way, that is getting in your way, and where you are preventing yourself from pursuing what it is you truly want to in life. This isn't the time to settle. And again, like I said before, with the leap, you don't have to make a big leap. If you want to change a job, for example, start exploring, update your resume. You can do that behind the scenes. It doesn't mean you have to quit your job, overhaul your life, and move. For some, it may entail that. But there's something here about, because I kept seeing restraints, there's something here about holding yourself back. And I mean, it could be on a mental, spatial landscape, but also physical, spiritual landscape as well. Because this taps into your self-limiting beliefs. It also taps to your current situation, your reality. Some of you may be in situations you may not want to be in, and you know you want to leave them. And that takes an element of courage and bravery, and also vulnerability to admit, like, hey, this isn't working. Again, whether it's a job, a relationship, a situation, whatever it is, it could be a habit or something that you do in your day-to-day life. So get out of your own fucking way and stop holding yourself back. You may even want to say that as a mantra, like, I'm getting out of my own way, or I'm in my power, or I reclaim my power, or I am taking action right now. Fourth, play like a little kid. And some of these seem very related, right, to the Leo energy. I've been getting this recently a lot, and there has been a resistance with balancing play and work, home life and work, right? Especially since Cancer season that we just left really highlighted these themes around making sure to balance work and life and nurturing that aspect of your life, because both really, they blend into one another, even if they may be in separate spheres. With play though, I got, and this is a huge belief that may be difficult for some to understand until you actually practice it and engage in it. And this may also be considered a leap. But when we rest, when we play, when we get into the creative flow of life, expression, because there's a lot of feminine energy here, we start receiving more. We start tapping more into ourself, into our intuition. And it's during these states of play where a lot of expansion and growth happens. And ironically, it seems counterintuitive. We may think, no, I actually have to be doing. That's why a lot of people have that work mentality. And we have a very toxic notion and relationship with masculinity here, masculine energy, and also really seeing feminine energy in a negative viewpoint. I would say especially in Western societies, but this is pervasive in many. So I won't go too deep into that, but really start engaging in something that you enjoy doing. This came up too, maybe in my weekly energetic reading. Find something, do something that brings you happiness or joy. Just think about it, or try something new, because the Leo energy is really curious as well, and trying new things and becoming excited and passionate and adventurous too. So get back to your childhood. What is it that you enjoy doing? For example, I grew up on the beach, and I spent my days on the beach and the pool all day long. I'm talking hours. I loved collecting seashells and sea glass, and it really called to me again, even though I'm not near a beach right now, to start doing that. So in nature, I love collecting rocks and leaves and things like that. And I feel it's exciting, you guys. So really think about what kind of lights you up, what you remember doing, not just as a child, but things right now too in this season of your life, because that is going to cultivate that abundance mindset. That's going to allow you to start receiving not just messages, intuitive hits, but also in your physical reality when you just let go. And also when you get into that flow state, you release control. Ever notice when you are engaged deeply in something you enjoy doing, like baking or cooking or dancing especially, or writing? Some of you like writing poetry or acting or whatever it is. There's so many things. I keep getting bird watching. You just lose time because you're so in the flow. That's the energy to embody. Number 5. This is kind of long, you all. I did not anticipate 5 of these. This is the last one. Love. And I'm like, of course. When we think of love, many people think of Venusian energy, Libra, Taurus. And, you know, Taurus is very much about values and stability and self-worth. Libra is very much about partnerships as well, but also long-term partnerships like marriage, solidifying, consolidating that union. And the Leo 5th house energy is a lot about love, dating, and romance. But this goes beyond because this also speaks to self-love. This is about you. Fiercely love yourself. Put yourself first on that pedestal. And I channeled 2 songs, which was really not what I was expecting, but the first song I channeled was I Want to Know What Love Is. I hope I got that title right, by Foreigner. Take a look at the lyrics, because when you explore what love means to you, you're going to be able to connect it more to your reality. Because so many people, I feel, miss a couple steps and they are like, okay, I want to attract love in my life, or I want to feel more loved, and they don't realize it starts with them. Explore what love means to you. What does it look like? Most importantly, what does it feel like? How can you show up for yourself in this way? That is, how can you show yourself more love? And I want to add too, to find the love that you deserve, you also have to be it. So this particular energy is really calling you to step into this self-love frequency, to really focus on your heart, because Leo does rule the heart. You may be experiencing heart activations right now, vibrations, palpitations, and I'll just say, especially with some of the other astrological events that are happening, we will be seeing and feeling a lot of fluttering. Well, feeling, I should say. I don't know if we'll see them from others, unless you can perhaps track this with an EKG of some sort, but this is about elevating yourself. For some of you, I got this message too. This was strongly coming through. For some of you that are waiting for people, that you haven't, a lot of themes on relationships I've been getting. For those of you waiting on people, there's going to be a time where you just have to make a decision yourself and close the door. Because I've been seeing a lot of 2 of Swords energy, 2 of Wand energy in my readings. And so you may be called to make a decision in this new moon, because it's about a fresh new start, starting new, setting a new slate for yourself as you start this chapter. And remember, with the lunation, you can set goals every 2 weeks, or I should say for the next 2 weeks when we have the full moon, or you can set it for the next 6 months, something that you want to see culminate and come into fruition when we see that sign in its full moon stage. So I'll leave it. Oh no, wait, one more song I forgot. I also channeled Desiree's song, You Gotta Be, and this is from the 90s, and read the lyrics. I don't even know, I'm getting strong fire energy from her, but to me it spoke of really embodying who you are at this moment and moving forward in this new cycle. Come from a place of realness. And I know, because I've been getting some signs when people are like, you know, I just feel like I don't connect to others. I don't feel like people relate to me. I feel different. And some of you that are watching this may relate to, fill in the blank. There's going to be many different titles. Starseed, Indigo, healer of some sort, witch, whatever it is. You may feel different from others and like you haven't met your soul group yet. When you start showing the world who you are, that's when you're going to connect with people on that level. If you in any way try to act a certain way or falsify who you are, not intentionally, not in a bad way, sometimes we act a certain way to protect ourselves, you will not reach that level of intimacy that you may want, right? That deepness, that closeness with the people in your life. So this, again, this taps into love of self too. It's about being you, showing the world the real you. And also considering what you truly want, not what others want for you or from you. Remember that. That's where the true courage comes in, where the vulnerability also comes in, when we're just ourselves. Because that means that our light is fully on. Literally, our light is fully on, who we are. We accept ourselves no matter what anyone else thinks. It's almost like having that I don't give a fuck attitude. but sprinkling in some love, some assertiveness, and some empathy, but not being a pushover, really owning who you are. Whew. So this was a bunch of messages. In short, I really encourage you to think about truly what it is you want, and don't worry about the how or the when it'll happen, but focus on what it is that you want, that your heart is really calling you to set goals on, and just start with the littlest step and keep going. I'm wishing you a beautiful new moon in Leo. Wow, embody this energy, take your time, breathe, know you're going to get through it. I will see you soon. If this video helped, if you got any wisdom out of it, please, I would love it if you could like, share, and subscribe. If you feel called to, hit the thumbs up button, comment down below. Let me know if you have any new moon intentions, goals, what you're worried most about, if you could relate to anything I said, or you're like, hell no, I don't understand any of this, Christine. I'd love to hear from you nonetheless. So take care, I'll see you soon.